Introduce use a transition to retirement pension. So let me explain what they're about and when they're valuable and when I recommend them to people. And firstly, transition to retirement pension is when someone hits age 60, which is preservation age, and they're still working. So between 60 and 65, if you're still working, you can have access to some of your superannuation by commencing a transition to retirement pension. So what you do is you roll over your accumulation into a transition to retirement pension, and you have to take out at least 4%, but no more than 10%. And the reason why this has been implemented is to give people the flexibility to go from 5 days down to 4 days, down to 3, and reduce their hours, which the government might hopes that might mean people might work for longer and be more productive in the workforce for longer if they choose. So it's about flexibility for people. Now, where we use them, we would not recommend them if there's no advantage in doing it. If people don't need the cash flow, then we don't need to kick some off. There's no huge tax saving strategy with that. But if people are not maxing out their concessional contributions and they don't have the cash flow to do it, that is one reason why we absolutely do it, because that gives them the extra cash flow to reduce their taxable income and pay 15% going into super instead of their marginal tax rate, which for the average Aussie is 32 cents on the dollar. The second reason why we do it, if you still have a home loan and you've still got debt and having trouble paying that down whilst maximising concessional contributions, this is where we would again kick off a transition to retirement, take up to the 10% out, the maximum more than likely, to pay down home loan, which also might give you the cash flow again to maximise your concessional contributions, so you only pay 15 cents on the dollar up to that $30,000 per year, which is the concessional contributions cap. So they are very flexible. You do not need to be retired to access them. They're not years ago, once you move to superannuation, internally within the fund it would be taxed at zero, and obviously the pensions we receive are exempt and tax-free as well, but the rules changed on that. It's still tax-free to us as individuals, but there is still 15% within the fund. Please remember, this is general advice, and I'd recommend that you seek professional advice regarding these strategies. Thanks for listening. Cheers.